What's up, Pandas? Peter von Panda here. Hey, just discovered this brand of watches, Tayroc, I think it's called. I want to show you this one, TXM093. And what I was intrigued about by the Tayroc brand, iconic, comes in this box just like this, is that it's in a lot of ways it's very similar, or appeared similar, kind of in ethos to the movement watches, which I know you guys, a number of you have really liked. And you like the design, the style of them. And this watch seemed to kind of have a very similar vibe, a similar look, maybe a slightly more complex look, you know, maybe not quite as minimal as the movement watch. And I thought I would show it to you, man. Why not, right? Why not? Stay tuned, maybe good news. It is the TXM093, and what that means is that this watch will come with the Sandstone leather band. And look how cool that is. I love that vintage, antique, distressed leather, kind of that crackling leather look. You know, to each his own, but I love that look. I would have my car seats wrapped in that kind of leather. I'd have the pillows in my couch wrapped in that kind of leather if I could. And I suppose you could, but you'd also need to be kind of a self-made billionaire. And I'm only 100 air. And look at this, man. I mean, a good looking watch. So Sandstone leather, I believe this is 22 millimeters long. As you can see here, it's 22 millimeters all the way down, kind of a squared off band. The stitching on it, the side stitching is also in that tan sandstone color, a couple straps here. The Tayroc is engraved on the buckle right there, and a pretty substantial buckle. Like, you know, shaped and pretty massive too. So pretty cool. And then in like this black coating here. I think everything's like 316L stainless steel, so it should be high quality, no rusting, but then it's all black plated. And as you can see, they're very, you know, highly reflective, polished black plating. You know, no engraving, no brush finish. The lugs kind of droop down there. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's a classic looking watch, which I really like. The bezel here kind of has a nice rounded curve to it. The crystal is curved. I would assume it's maybe like a hardened mineral crystal. So there's a little bit of a, what do you call it, like a zenith or an apex right there in the middle. But it's a very, very soft, subtle curve. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you that too well, but the watch feels good. I mean, it feels good in hand because there are no real sharp edges, and so your hand kind of glides over everything. The bezel and the crystal kind of meld into each other really, really nicely. You have the T right there on the crown, so you have that and a little knurled edge, kind of an interesting. It's not like just slotted, but it's actually like a textured knurling. And then you have two pushers here because this is a chronograph, and I think it's the OS11 Miota quartz movement. You've got this kind of shiny, semi-shiny sheen on the black dial, so it really kind of is like a murdered out looking watch. And if you look at it, the thing that strikes you is their bright red second hand, or stopwatch hand, to be really honest. Everything else kind of fades away into the blackness. It kind of reminds me of like the Chrysler 300 John Varvatos edition, where they kind of murdered out everything. I like it. I like things that are murdered out. You see Tayroc right there on the side. Chronograph, 5 atmospheres, water resistant. There are a couple of subdials here. This one is the seconds hand, as you can see it ticking there. And a little bit of texturing on those subdials. And then up here, it looks like, because I can see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I think this might be the 60-minute counter for the stopwatch. You have long markers at the hour, and then it looks like kind of silk screen minute markers in black, and those are kind of more in a, you know, traditional black paint, as to kind of contrast a little bit from that, you know, metallic, kind of that anodized aluminum black finished. Tayroc seems to be kind of either pressed in the dial, it's a little raised. There's definitely some depth to it there. And then the hands, the hour and the minute hands, are very much like the hour markers. They're just flat, rectangular hands. They've got a nice little sheen on them. You know, if you're going to work in a lot of low light environments and need to be able to quickly see what time it is, then this isn't the watch for you, man. Ain't the watch. But if you like you know, the black and tan look, the kind of the murdered out, kind of the old school style with kind of a new style badass feel, then this is the watch. If you like getting ladies, this is your watch. So the date window right there at 3 o'clock obviously is in white, so that kind of pops a little bit there. But overall, I think a nice looking watch. Tayroc on the back here, no exhibition window. This will twist out. You've got the key slots right there. Now let's talk about this movement a little bit and see how this bad boy works. So the top pusher should be the start stop for the stopwatch, and it is. We can see it going. And I should be able to stop it and restart with that one. So it swings all the way around on the restart. And then on the crown, looks like it's not screwed down. I just pull it out, and here's where I can adjust the time. And let's see, does it come down further? I guess not. So you might have to roll over midnight to adjust the date. But, you know, I think really nice looking, man. I mean, you know, if you're looking for this kind of style, the watch isn't that heavy, 43 millimeters in diameter, so it's kind of a Goldilocks watch. I do like the fact that the band is nice and thick, but it's very, very supple. It's very soft, which is kind of a complaint of mine, especially when bands get pretty big. But, you know, here's the watch on my wrist. 43 millimeters is a size I could... Here, how about this? Oh, man, how's that for a wrist shot? Woo! You know, it fits under the cuff of a dress shirt. But 43 millimeter watch is a watch I could wear all day long and well into the evenings because it's big. It looks, you know, it's easy to read. It has some presence, but it's not so big that, you know, you can't tuck it under a shirt sleeve or a cuff, or kind of gets knocked around on things a lot. But it's pretty cool. I definitely like the black and the tan. I've just always been a big fan of that. You guys saw my movement watches. You know, I have some other watches that I just love. The black PVD, like my Shinola is very much like this, you know, where it's just a black case, black dial, and then kind of a khaki colored tan band. I dig this look. But then the thing I really like about this on top of that is kind of that bold, in-your-face red stopwatch hand. It just kind of has a little bit of color flavor that kind of sticks out and says, woohoo! You know what? I'm not all murdered out, no fun. I have a little spice. So anyway, I like it. Check it out from Tayroc Watches. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. I'll put a link to this watch in the description. And then I will also put a link just to the general website where you can see they have a ton of other types of watches. Hint, hint, we may take a look at some more of these because I've been pretty impressed with it so far. You know, if you like that kind of minimalist style, like the movement watches, I think you're going to like this. Now, let's make someone's Tayroc dreams come true and give this bad boy away on May 13th, 2017. This little black and tan gorgeous little bad boy is going to go on someone's wrist, and all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then comment below. Put the country that you live in somewhere in the comment. It's got to be USA or Canada because that's the only places I can afford to ship it to. But then on the 13th, we'll pick one random commenter, and I'll verify in the comment that you live in the US or Canada, and we'll get the sucker out to you so that you can enjoy the Tayroc simplistic minimalist beauty on your own wrist. Peter Von Panda out.